Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah. If you are new here, I have a goal of reaching $106,000 invested this year. And today we're going to be breaking down my May wins and also my many fails for May and my June budget. So let's get into it. Let's start off with May's income. So we brought in $13,733.90. We had our typical 9 to 5 biweekly paychecks. We also transferred $349 from our nanny fund to our main checking. Then we got to our vacation fund. So if you're new here, I did end up going on a vacation last month. We had this planned for a very long time. And I completely failed my budget. I thought I had everything calculated. I wanted to spend $1,300, but we ended up spending $1,640. And on top of that, we also spent some money from our typical food and gas budget when we were on vacation. So we definitely went over budget. We did not account for the money that we needed for our dogs. We board them when we go on vacation. So that was an extra $500. And then we also needed extra treats. We needed extra food for them because I decided to feed them kibble instead of raw meat, which is what I usually feed them. There were just so many extra things. It felt like we were just throwing money away at everything. So, yeah, we definitely blew our budget for our vacation. And honestly, we decided that we are no longer going on a vacation until our son's a little bit older. He's 9 months old, and honestly, it was like one of the most stressful trips I've ever been on. Yeah, so that was not fun. Okay, let's get back to our income. So I got $50 from my mom for Mother's Day. She wanted to pay for one of my pottery classes, so I got $50 from Venmo. We won a couple scratch offs, so that was $40, and we always invest all of our money that we win in the lottery or scratch offs into our investment accounts. And then $280 for our car insurance, which is our last payment. If you are new here, we ended up paying in full for our car insurance. We switched car insurances to save a little bit of money, so we had one more payment left from the old insurance company. And then we transferred $594 from our horse fund, which is my husband's side business. And he just needed extra money to pay for some extra horse expenses. So let's get into fixed expenses. So coterie is $123. That's always typical every month. That is where we get my baby's diapers. And then home insurance and taxes, we have an automatic payment, $380 goes straight to a savings account so we can pay our home insurance and taxes in full each year. $120 for our internet. So for subscriptions, I did end up going way over budget because I decided to get a full year subscription from Epidemic Sound to have some good music in my videos. So it was actually cheaper just to pay for a full year. So I did that. And then our trash bill was $25, which is typical. Car insurance was $689. So I thought we were just going to have the $280 left for our last payment on our previous car insurance, but my husband did not realize that his horse trailer insurance also came out. So that was also something we had to pay for, but it did come from a savings account that we already had money in, which is our horse fund. And then last but not least, we have a new fixed expense, which is life insurance. So we ended up getting life insurance just because I felt like it was the right thing to do. I've been wanting to do it for so long and I've just been putting it off. So it's roughly $30 for both of us. It's a really good deal, and we did do a lot of shopping around. So that is a new expense we have in our budget. Now let's get to variable expenses. So I do cash stuff every single month, $2,500 every single month. That never changes. So we did take that money out of our account. Our electricity bill was actually a little bit lower this month. It was $150.91. So food and gas was $900. We did use some of that money during our vacation and then some, as I previously went over. And then our typical nanny costs and our water bill was a little bit higher this month. And I honestly think it's going to keep going up because Texas is like 90, 95 degrees right now, and I'm using so much water to water my plants. And then vacation, we did go over on that. And then we had a credit card bill that we definitely did not expect. So when we went on vacation, before we actually went on vacation, we spent so much money on extra supplies for our pets, extra supplies for our chickens, extra supplies for our house. Like we just honestly went crazy. Okay, I went crazy and bought a bunch of stuff that I typically do not buy. So we ended up having to take the money from our investments that we were going to invest and pay off our credit card because we always pay our credit card off in full no matter what. So yeah, it was not fun, but it was the first time that we went over on our budget, and it was the first time this year that we did not meet our financial investment goals. So anyway, moving on. Our truck loan is $928. It actually was a little less this month. It was $927.53. Okay, let's go to our investments and savings. So, car savings, we always transfer $200 automatically to another account for our next car as a down payment. Emergency fund is $190. I'm actually going to talk about this in my June budget, but I did not put that back into my emergency fund. I actually put it on our truck as an extra payment. And then our Roth IRA, we both put $625 in our Roth IRA with our taxable brokerage. We ended up putting $870. We really wanted to put $1,791, but we just had all those extra expenses. So that's what happened there. And then Brady's UPMA account is always $50. And then for our payroll deduction investments, it came to $5,165.16. So that's our 401ks, my employee stock purchase plan, and our HSA account. So total May investments was $7,752.16. So I am very pleased with that amount. And if you guys are curious, we have invested $58,287 so far this year. So we are well on our way to achieving our goal of $106,000 invested this year. Now that we have May out of the way, let's get into June. So for June, our income is going to be hopefully $19,146. And the reason why it's so high is because we decided to take $8,000 from our emergency fund and put it on our truck loan. So we're not originally going to pay our truck off. We have a really good interest rate. It's 4.95%, but we decided we really just want to get it over with. So we are going to put that lump sum on our car loan. And then we also decided that we're going to put $1,200 on our truck payment instead of the $928, I believe, we pay each month. So that will allow us to pay off our car or our truck in 16 months, and that will be done. So that's what we decided on that. And then also we're going to be transferring $380 to cover some of our nanny fees. For our fixed expenses, nothing has really changed. Just that life insurance I added. So our fixed expenses are going to be $719.28. Nothing too crazy here. So let's get to our variable expenses. Our cash envelopes are always $2,500, and we are going to stick to that amount. We are not going to go over because I really want to put more into our investment accounts this month. Our electricity bill, I think I'm going to change that to $180 because I have been putting the air on so much because it is so hot here in Texas. Food, I did increase our food budget to $860 because I really want to go to Costco. I feel like our house is completely empty. Like there is nothing in our pantry really. There is nothing in our fridge. And I was originally going to stop there on our way home from the airport, but Brady had other plans. So I'm definitely going to go to Costco. So I increased our food budget there. Gas should be about $300, if not less, because my husband isn't actually going to work This week he is at a work trip, so our gas is going to be a little lower hopefully this month. And then we have our typical nanny fees, and I put $90 for our water bill since I am using a lot more water. Our truck loan, I put $9,200 since we are going to put that $8,000 on our debt and increase our payment to $1,200. As far as our investments, car savings, $200, just an automatic payment. Roth IRA, $1,250. I really want to put $1,500 in our taxable brokerage account. So that is our goal for this month. And then Brady always gets $50 in his UPMA account. And then we have our typical payroll deduction investments, which is $5,172.70. So that is my June budget. It is pretty simple right now. I'm sure it'll get a little bit more complicated as the month goes on, but I hope you enjoyed today's breakdown of my budget and my financial reset. I really feel like this month we're going to really hit our investment goals. If you are new here, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so you always get notified of my new videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like or even comment. It really helps my channel, and I will catch you in the next one.